Hi, I'm Steve Bookbinder. I'd like to talk to you about how to maximize your weekly sales meetings, particularly your Monday morning meetings. Now, not every sales team has a meeting on Monday mornings, but if you did, you'd more properly prepare for the week than if you put it on any other day. I like a Monday morning meeting because it gets the sales team going quickly, gets everybody focused on what they need to do. However, if you need to do it on a different day, you can. If you want to maximize that meeting, you need to be able to do a couple of things. The first is you need to get away from the idea that the manager is bringing the meeting to the meeting. Most managers bring the meeting to the meeting, and when they can't, they just cancel the meeting. What do I mean by that? Well, if the manager typically uses that meeting for updates, for training, what have you, then if they can't think of something to say, well, they cancel the meeting. On the other hand, if the meeting is brought by the salespeople, then the meeting can occur even with no preparation, and that's exactly what you want. So I like a meeting that starts off with a forecast. By looking at a forecast, particularly if you have a prospect management board, where you can, in one glance, see not only the arrangement of prospects, but calculate the value of the prospects, and therefore forecast what sales are going to close this month and how much revenue is going to come in the short term, then you're able to make a lot of very important assessments. Obviously, if the forecast calls for you're going to fall short, or the forecast calls for you're looking good, you're going to make different emphasis upon what activities need to be happening that week. Beyond that, you need to be able to teach salespeople how to diagnose their own sales. And the key to that is teach them how to tell a sales story. When I ask a typical salesperson to tell me about a sale that they're working on, I get a really long story. I sometimes call it the Tom Clancy novel story. And what's bad about it is, first of all, it takes a really long time to tell. So I can't get through my meetings without everybody taking 10 minutes on each story. But beyond that, when a salesperson needs 10 minutes to tell a story, it tells me that they don't know what to tell. They're spinning the story so it sounds positive because that's what salespeople do. They spin things to make them sound good. I don't want that. I want an objective telling of the story so that I can objectively evaluate whether or not this is going to happen. And what I really need to know from every story is really the answer to these two questions. In my view, what do I think is the most important thing needed next to close the sale, and when will that happen? If I said to you, here's what I think needs to happen next, and here's when it's going to happen, and it's scheduled to happen on such and such a date, really we don't need to discuss it more. If I say to you, here's what I think ought to happen, but I have no date for when that's going to happen, well then it's very quick. A quick remedy. Get an appointment to have that action, or, failing that, stop counting on that prospect. And so I need to teach people that story. It shortens the storytelling time. It helps me know that the salesperson knows what to look at, helps them diagnose it, and focus on the right activities. Another thing that I want to get out of my sales meetings is I want to strategize. Now, the key to sales strategy is knowing where in the process a particular prospect is at any given moment. You've got 6 phases that a sale could be, anywhere from opportunity all the way through close. Depending upon which stage it's in will dictate the right next step, action step, strategy step in order to move it forward. If I don't really know where it is, I'm going to do the wrong thing. So in an exaggerated situation, if a sale is at the very beginning of the process and I'm simply waiting for the customer to buy, that's the wrong strategy. On the other hand, if a sale is moments away from a contract being faxed in or emailed in, well, then waiting is probably the right strategy, although you know what I should couple with the waiting? Calling somebody else, because I'm very soon going to lose that prospect. And so coming up with the right strategy and discussing strategy and employing a strategy we once used with a different prospect and applying that strategy, because after a while what you realize is no matter how different every sales story is, most sales stories boil down to one of about 6 things. And so once I recognize that sales stories repeat themselves, challenges repeat themselves, and therefore strategies can be repeated, I help the team understand where they are and what they need to do. Training is the next thing I could do with a good Monday morning meeting. I could do training in a lot of ways. Of course, I could bring in a training company, but I could also train them myself if I'm a manager. I could also have the strongest person on the team train everybody in the thing that they do the best. Or I could take the weakest person on the team and have them prepare a training program to teach somebody something. You know what happens? Training accelerates learning. I take the weakest person on the team. I have them read a couple of books on appointment making. I have them summarize those books for everybody else on the team. At minimum, you know what happens? That person's skills improved, and everybody else has improved a little bit too. Well, if you want to learn more about how to maximize your Monday morning meetings, contact us. And there's a variety of things that we'll show you how to do, that when we're done, you'll have a Monday morning meeting methodology that will last you your entire career. Find out more about this proven sales process that works. Contact DEI today.